and I wanted to work in the field of science. This is what brought me to the States. So, but when I started to work there, I felt like uh, again it started to shift. It started to kind of dilute my curiosity. It really became a lot more about publishing. It became a lot more about where the funding is coming from, or just creating tools that would help another scientist. And I felt like kind of my thirst was not getting quenched. Firstly, I would like it to be less focused on the fame that publications get you. To me, it's just puts you again on a race, and science is never about race. Science is just about seeking.
You start to a group, you should follow your group leader, or you are bound to work on this topic, and you have to publish more. So I think these items are creating a lot of stress, and also, this is causing that the magic is gone. Like we are thinking that, oh, okay, like we have to produce paper, we have to do that, and then it's becoming like a machine, and it's not science anymore.
The way that academics are sort of viewed and valued is at their very first step. It's who is that person, right? It's not asking what sort of activities should that person be involved in to ensure that we get good research or good outcomes. It's asking, who is this person? Are they a superstar? Are they getting the right sort of grants? Are they producing the right sort of papers? Are they getting the right sort of citations? And so in a way, the pressure's all sort of in the wrong place. You've got to have certain qualities I suppose, to make progress. You have to be interested. You have to be curious. You have to want to know what the lab results are going to be, and so on. So if there are certain people like that, then the system could be set up so that rather than deciding, okay, is that person is that person an academic? Instead, the question should be, what should the academic environment, what sort of activities should be taking place in the academic environment, so that all of these people that can contribute are able to, basically. And this is just so far away from the sort of the way that things are being set up at the moment, which is highly competitive. It's modeled more on like survival of the fittest. Of course, that person who ends up crystallizing an idea or becoming a figurehead for an idea, they're like one person with a mountain of people behind, and behind only in terms of being sort of publicly visible. You put too much emphasis on that shining star, the person who sort of ends up coming out, becoming famous. It's often represented in terms of grants and these sort of things. It would be nice if it was recognized that while that person has ended up representing something, there's a whole community that they're representing. And all of those people in that community the whole thing needs that community, right? Projects aren't organized around communities like that. The person who gets the most grants, the highest publications, ends up being a figurehead who can sort of dictate the direction that the community goes in. Of course, it ends up being quite hierarchical, which as time progresses, I suppose, makes less and less sense.